everyone, welcome to episode 13 of Flaneur Talks with Azaria and Amber. So Melina's not with us today because she had an emergency that she had to attend to, so essentially it is just us two as the main hosts for this time. But today is an extra special episode where we have a couple of guests on with us who are here to give us a more in-depth insight into today's topic of K-pop and dance. Dance in general as well as K-pop dance. It'll be quite brief. So please welcome Bing and Kei onto our podcast.
Hello. Hi, I'm Bing. Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, I'm Kei. Hello.
Hello. And as usual, we've got Amber hiding in the background somewhere.
As always, I'm just the creep on the side.
You're the best side dish, don't worry. So let's get into, I guess, dancing experience. Now, what kind of got you guys dancing in the first place? Shall we start with Bing?
I first started dancing because my cousin started taking ballet classes and I got very, very jealous. So I started dancing not out of 100% pure reasons, but I started doing ballet when in 2008, I believe it was, and I've been dancing since.
Is it like different kinds of dancing that you've been kind of doing, or like since then, or has it been mainly like one kind of thing that you've focused on?
Yeah, so I started out doing ballet and then I took a bit of a break because of studies and education, but now I've been branching out into contemporary and hip hop as well.
Okay, what about you, Kei?
Mine was kind of an accident. I was at school and I was wanting to take pictures for my media project, and I heard some people came in for the performing arts department, and it turns out that they were going to do this kind of class thing at the youth center in my town. And just because I was there, I got given a form, I got accepted, and we got to try dance, some DJ type thing, rapping, poetry, and something else I can't remember. But I really enjoyed the dance bit, so we had a big youth slam type thing, and it was hip hop style, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it, so I just kept doing it.
And then you've become quite good at dancing, I'd say. Both of you have gotten quite good at dancing since then. Obviously, I've not known you for as long as that. I've actually known you since 2016 when I first joined the K-pop Dance Society and University in Sheffield, which I briefly mentioned in episode 10. So could either of you tell me a little bit about what it was like being, quite prominent figures in the society and dancing in the society, from your perspective? Shall we start with Kei this time?
Well, honestly, I was quite scared at first because I'm not a big outgoing kind of person, I guess, but it was nice to make friends with people who are like-minded. We were all there to dance, and we were all liking the same kind of thing, the same genre of music, and it was nice to have people come up to me and tell me afterwards, I like this, oh, it was such a good session, thank you, and it made me feel happy even though I was at the front a lot. Yeah.
Do you think that gave you more confidence in any way?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm still quite introverted, but I'm willing to try more things now, for sure.
What about you, Bing?
Well, I think first I need to say that Kei neglected to mention the fact that they founded the entire society. And if it wasn't for that, well, none of us would have met. It's all right. I will mention it for you. I am your hype man.
Thanks. Always count on you.
I was so busy hyping up Kei because they're great that I've completely forgotten what the question was.
I'm sorry. I can just imagine you guys finger gunning at each other.
I actually finger gun. I finger gun.
No, my hands got slammed on the table, but I'm doing the eyebrows.
Okay, I'll tell you about setting it up while Bing gets her thoughts together.
Yes.
I set it up because I was too scared of Hip Hop Dance Society there.
So instead of just joining the dance society, you did something even harder and set up a whole new one.
I made a whole new society. I figured also if I made it, then like I don't have to be scared of anyone above me or doing something wrong because I'm helping to create the rules. And it was nice because I could make sure it was a nice friendly environment that everyone felt welcome in, and that there wasn't going to be any kind of seniority or like mystery. It was all very open and everyone can be friends with everyone, you know. We all like the same things, so that's why.
It's like a community kind of feeling.
Yes, and look, we became friends, and honestly I don't know what my life would be like without you guys in it.
Oh, the episode just started and it's soft boy hours.
It's always soft boy hours with us.
I'm tearing up as
I'm
we
not
speak.
soft, I'm hard.
Please. Excuse me, did you just steal my catchphrase?
I was pretending to be you.
Yeah. It was scary. It was very scary, I must say. I started out in the society as just an ordinary member, and I enjoyed myself so immensely. I was like, yeah, I want a piece of the action. I want to be in the committee, helping out, because I wanted to add to the fun atmosphere that I had taken part in, and I wanted to help. But at the same time, that jump from just having no responsibility and just being there to enjoy myself to suddenly having responsibility, where if you mess up, then that impacts the other members' enjoyment. That it was a lot. It felt very scary to me, but it was also very, very rewarding, like Kei said, when people come up to you and say, that was a really good session, or, oh, I didn't get this, but then you explained it really well and I got it. And just seeing people smile and laugh and have fun, that gave a real sense of fulfillment. It was very rewarding.
Okay. So, kind of leading on from that, obviously with K-pop Dance Society, or we'll shorten it to KPD from now, there was the performance team, which was pretty much quite a big part of KPD for a lot of people. A lot of people joined KPD to be in performance team, not just for the sessions. So after, performing with the performance team, both as committee members and as regular members, would you say that you prefer to dance solo, duo, or in groups, shall we say?
I'll say that it's just a very different sort of experience for all three of them. So I find when I'm dancing solo, I can really just focus on myself and just playing with dance and just trying new techniques. What if I do this? What if I do that? What if I change things up and spice it up a little bit? Where you don't really get as much of that freedom in a group dance. But when everyone comes together in a group and we're just all in sync and our energies are just all together, it's a completely different experience. Just to be able to feed off of each other. But again, being in a big group is different from just being in a duo where it's just you and one other person, and that back and forth between two people there's an intimacy there where you're trying to just match yourself up with another person. They're completely different experiences, and it's hard to compare, really.
So you kind of like all of them, but for different reasons.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a bit of a cop-out answer.
No, because I'm exactly the same, because I would also give an answer like that. But what about you, Kei?
Do you want some psychology?
Go on.
Well, first of all, I'll just answer your question. Actually, no, I'll do the psychology first. Suspense. Anyway. So I learned this from sport because I used to do sport obviously a long time ago. That was what I was gonna have my career in, and I was like, nah, I don't like this anymore. So apparently, like, you get sports teams, football or whatever, and then you've got like tennis and things. So there's people that prefer doing either or because a lot of them, especially team players, prefer to try and stand out among people in their team. And like solo players like to stand out on their own on top of everybody else. So it's kind of different how, like, obviously you can still like all of them for different reasons. And sometimes when there's a preference, there's that kind of reasoning for it. It's not a bad thing because everybody likes to do good and look good and they want people to look at them, I guess. But yeah, so I prefer in a team. Firstly, because I can hide. But secondly, because I do like having my own time to shine in the team too. Even if it's just a little bit. And I like working with people, even if it can be frustrating at times. Like that cube in...
Oh, the cube. We'll
cube.
pop a little snippet of the cube up.
The cube.
Oh, the infamous cube. Wow.
Yeah, that was very difficult when people aren't there, obviously. But when everyone's there and working together and the end result is as good as it was, it's really satisfying.
Obviously, when everyone's working together and when everyone turns up, it's even amazing. When you've got two people for a cube, for like a 16-person cube.
Was there that many people? 16? There wasn't that many, was there?
I guessed. I was like 4x4.
13? 13? 13?
It was probably about that.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Resident Carrot.
It's 13 members, 3 teams. No, 3 units, 1 team. That makes 17.
So we've talked about your experience with dance. So shall we move on to K-pop questions? The one that I'm guessing a lot of people will be here for because it's K-pop. Amber?
Yeah, because it's the exciting. We love K-pop because K-pop's cool. Anyway, so obviously with K-pop groups, is there anything that comes to mind that you feel that shouldn't have been disbanded? Bing, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes. So the first group that comes to mind, 100% Gugudan. Gugudan should not have disbanded. And the sort of and Pristin and Tina Pia also come to the same category as well, where they're third-gen groups that did not have as many promotions as they should have had, and just weren't marketed very well either, with the whole mess of marketing and IOI, and both groups had so much potential. I would 100% say that Gugudan has some of the best vocals in the third gen, and that that talent was just wasted and squandered. And it was heartbreaking that Sally had to, like, said on national television in China, basically saying, yeah, they told me to just go home and they didn't say to come when I would have to go back, because the fate of the group was just unknown even to them. Yeah, absolutely. I think Gugudan had a lot of potential to just be so much more if given the opportunity, but it's too late now.
I know my sister, when she went to Korea, she said my team. She was upset that they disbanded. Something I obviously haven't listened to my team. I don't know whether you guys have listened to them in the past, but that's someone that my sister was really upset with.
No, I've not.
Were they an elimination group?
I think so. I'm just trying to have a look at it now because I remember my sister talking about it. She's got a book. She's got one of their albums. It was by Music Works. That's the label that owned them. And she was really upset. They went from 2016 and then they disbanded in 2019.
I'm afraid they passed me by.
A lot of people went on about it because they like did the puzzle album, and like you collect puzzle pieces. That was one of their big things. I don't know.
That's cute.
Ah.
Zaria, do you have any bands that you're kind of like sad that disbanded?
No, I wasn't expecting to get that question. I'm trying to think. Because I know there are quite a few groups where I've been like, wait, why did they disband? Like, what was the point in them disbanding? But I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Wait, have BAP disbanded? I don't know.
BAP?
Yeah. If they have, I wish they didn't. If they didn't, I don't know.
Not that I can see.
They disbanded in February the 18th, 2019.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay then.
BAP were given such a bad hand with their company just completely screwing them over.
Yeah,
Like,
I saw
if
them
they-
twice in concert, and I'm like, they were really good. You know?
Yeah, if they didn't have that hanging over them, they would have had a lot longer, I think, as well.
Do we all listen to BTS?
Old
yeah.
BTS.
Yeah, old, I guess.
The old ones. I'm just thinking, comparing like the older songs from, for example, from a K-pop group like BTS to their newer songs. Do you kind of prefer older content or newer content, and kind of why you think that?
So if we're talking BTS, I personally prefer their older stuff, but there's still songs in their newer discography that I do enjoy. But I guess it's the same with a lot of groups. Like, it just depends on the sound, you know. If I don't like a song, I don't like a song. I can't help it, you know. My favorite group's FX. There's still songs I don't like of theirs, you know. But I can't force myself to like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely say that depending on when a group debuted, they follow certain trends in terms of sound. So a lot of third-gen boy groups, like 17 and Astro, when they debuted, they had the very sort of preppy, happy boy group sound, very energetic. But as they matured, they've now started releasing sort of moodier, darker, edgier sort of songs. And the instrumentation has changed a little bit. Definitely seeing it in 17, we're going slightly with more sort of real instrument sounds, like with the guitars and things like that, to more electronic a little bit, like to compare Adjunice with Fear, for example. But like I still like both, and I think it's very important that everyone should be made aware that Hoshi, performance team leader of 17, has released a mixtape. Everyone go stream Hoshi Spider. It's a masterpiece, work of art. Love it.
Here she comes.
I'm sorry. This is all I've been talking about since it came out. Whoops.
Insert clip.
No, I just think it's neat. I think visually the music video is stunning. Like,
Careful, you're gonna get a
sonically,
whole in-depth analysis at this point.
like sonically, it's wonderful. It's great to hear how much Hoshi has improved in his vocal performance, and choreography-wise, amazing, absolutely amazing. Just the use of props and environment and the use of backing dancers is speechless. Everyone go look at it. Go watch it.
So with that in mind, do you think K-pop has made like a massive impact on your life? Has it made an impact?
I would say yes, it has made an impact, purely because if I hadn't watched that one shiny music video and gotten into shiny and found FX and gone into FX, I wouldn't have joined the K-pop Dance Society, and I wouldn't have met the people that I know now, that I'm very grateful to have met. I probably wouldn't have this interest in dance, so I'd be down one major hobby and creative outlet. And honestly, I just wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't stumbled across one song, which I think is absolutely wild.
Yeah, I can kind of see that it has made a difference on your life, the way that you are and the stance that you take. Kei, do you think it's made an impact on your life?
Yeah, I saw a video of FX, and then I saw Amber, and she had short hair, and I'm like, oh my god, I can do it. I can cut my hair short, and then I did, and then I've never looked back. I am my own person now. And obviously I wouldn't have made the society. I probably wouldn't have chosen my major, wouldn't have met any of you, wouldn't be here right now, wouldn't have the most special person in my life, you know? I'm very grateful.
Azaria, do you think it's made an impact on your life? Because I'm going to ask you as well.
No, not at all. Nope. Nope. None whatsoever. Nope. That's a complete lie. It has, yeah, but it's like similar to Kei's answer in the sense of, well, Kei and Bing's answers, in the sense of, if I hadn't done one thing, then I never would have met the people that I do know now. I wouldn't have gotten into the hobbies that I'm into now. I wouldn't dress the way that I do now, actually, considering that as well, because at one point I was looking into like Korean street fashion and things like that, and that kind of inspired me to dress how I dress now, instead of literally just throwing on skinny jeans, Timbs and a hoodie and being like, right, fashion 100, that's me, done, rest of the week, that's it. So now I actually buy clothes for occasions. But yeah, I'd say it's made an impact, even though I don't follow it as closely as I used to back when I was in university. I'd say every so often I'd go back to my playlist and be like, oh, you know, Butterfly by BTS, that's a sick song, let's give it a cheeky listen. And then I'll listen to like all of their early discography and be like, I can name all of these songs. So yeah, that's a long-winded answer of just saying yes, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of kicked the K-pop. I want to just ask one random question that we've kind of not thought about. Out of all the K-pop groups that you kind of listen to, which one stands out to you as your favourite? Just off the bat.
FX. No question, FX. Ultimate group.
Right,
yeah.
FX, mate. Yes, see, Azari says FX too.
What? I was thinking like
Oh my
80s
God, do you remember-
probably, to answer the question.
80s for you. I would say A.c.e for me.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember that time when we met Kanakan?
They bowed at us.
They bowed at us. We were, I'll set the scene. It was 2017 K-pop World Festival. We had made it to the London round. We're all standing on stage. Every group was on stage, lined up. We were on the right-hand side. Is the stage right if we're looking out into the audience?
I don't know, but we were there, yeah.
Yeah, we were on that side. And, you know, the announcer is talking, giving the preamble before announcing the winners. And I just sort of look over my shoulder, and then I do a double take and I look again. And then I start smacking Kei on the arm because I spotted Jihoon and Songham from Kanakan who were guest judges, and I start smacking them and they're saying, "Look! Oh my God, they're coming on stage! Oh my God!" In a state of shock. And they walk on, and Jihoon looks me dead in the eye, and he bows at me, and I bow back. And Soham, he's looking towards the announcer, but he bows in our general direction. And as soon as and after they leave, I start smacking Kei again, like, they bowed at us. They were tall, their skin was flawless, and I am forever a Tinkerbell because of that.
They were so tall. They were
They were
so tall.
They were so tall. Yeah,
I've also met
Jonghyun
from SHINee.
Yeah.
If
I'm
that's
so jealous of
interesting.
that. That is interesting. It's a fan sign, right?
I love him. Yes,
I love him too.
I was. He signed my album that I got of his solo album, and he was also very nice, and his skin was soft. He held my hand for a second. We high-fived. Anyway, we high-fived.
Yeah, you drew a picture for him, right?
I did. He tried to link fingers, and I got freaked out, and I was like, okay, bye. But you know, that's just me.
And while we're in the topic of bragging, we'll brag. We made it to Luna's debut concert, and we're in their Luna TV.
Oh yeah, that was really lucky.
That was so lucky.
Together.
Because we were originally, they had split our seats, and as we went to get to hand in our tickets, they changed our seats last minute and put a smack bang in the middle. And we could see Luna so clearly. We were right behind all of the tech people. Oh, it was such a good concert.
Oh yeah, you gave the tech people like a thumbs up at the end.
Yeah, at the end of the concert, I looked at the tech people, and they were all like, you know, packing up, putting their equipment away, and I made eye contact with one of them, and I just gave a thumbs up because, quite frankly, the show would not have been as good as it was without them. So yeah, he laughed and nodded at me. And then I assume he went to tell his mate, but I don't know because I don't speak Korean.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good things like that. I wish I'd have met someone famous. God damn it.
Oh well, there's time yet.
There is time. Hopefully when I go to Japan next year I'll meet someone cool. Right.
I pray for you.
Thank you. So I think we can kind of move on to like the general dance side of things. Azaria, do you want to kick it off with the general dance?
Hello, boys. I'm back.
Back at it again at Krispy Kreme.
Oh, Krispy Kreme sounds banging right now.
Okay,
so dance in general. So dancing. The act of moving your body in a rhythmic manner.
Yes.
These are kind of just generic questions, but if you had the opportunity to learn from like a leading specialist in like a particular genre of dance, what genre would you like to learn, basically?
I want to do like breaking, like b-boy breaking kind of thing. I want to do all the tricks because it looks fun.
It looks hard. It looks hard.
Oh yeah, it looks hard, but like
because it is hard.
Think of all the things you could do if you could do them, you know? Yeah.
You would look so sick doing a flare.
Yeah, I have to be able to touch my toes first, you know?
Good luck to that. I'm actually very lucky right now because I signed up to a group called Femme Fatale. They're doing an online intensive at the moment, and I'm very grateful and lucky to be taking part in that. So they specialize in a lot of popping, I think is their primary dance genre. So working really hard at that. But I guess in the future, tutting looks so cool. Tutting and whacking are two things that I really want to learn. So I think Spella from Spella from Tapaha, I think is the dance company. Her tutting is amazing. She does a lot of finger tutting as well. I discovered her before I found out that she does K-pop choreographies, but her most famous one is Naughty by Irene and Silky from Red Velvet. For whacking, I really want to learn from Waxy. I think the studio is called a.c.e, and that's where her name comes from. But yeah, her whacking is, I have no words for it. It's so energetic and hard hitting. And I remember going through Instagram and seeing her a video of her beginner class and other choreographers commenting saying, "This is beginner? Oh my god, it's so hard. This is so scary. This is beginner." I would love to go to one of her classes. I would die, but I'd love to.
Mm-hmm. Amber, like, if you were to like get into dancing and such, is there any genre that maybe you'd think about trying at some point?
Well, to be honest, I used to do dancing when I was like 12 with people who used to go to our high school, and I did jazz, tap, and modern. I mean, I enjoyed doing it, and I enjoyed the leotards. Oh, flipping. I like the shiny leotards. I'm not very fit, and I find it very difficult to do dance because I get very out of breath. So, but if I could, I would like to do what you guys have done with the K-pop, and I think that's really cool that you can do it and stuff. So if I was a big chunky boy in the gym, I would do that.
Interesting.
What about you, Zara?
Me, what kind of dancing?
Yeah, Uno reverse card.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe tap dancing. This wouldn't necessarily class as dance, I guess, but I'd probably get back into cheerleading if I could. But yeah, that would take a lot of
It's
stamina.
rhythmic. It counts.
It has rhythmic parts. It's me throwing people in the air, but yeah, like tap and getting back into cheerleading, I guess. And just being a better dancer overall, being stronger. Okay, so there are a lot of people, especially during lockdown, who have taught themselves dance. And they'll have it on their profile that they're self-taught dancers, and obviously will have spent a lot of time learning like K-pop dances, K-pop routines, using online class websites, like a.c.e and things like that. So what's your opinion on people who are self-taught like dancers on like Instagram and such?
I think self-taught is a little bit of a misnomer, because it's difficult to be truly self-taught, because in my mind, self-taught means no outside influence. You're just moving and trying things out by yourself without learning from anyone. And as soon as I think you get outside influence, whether it be from an online class, an online tutorial, or a resource like a.c.e or any old YouTube video, as soon as you start looking at K-pop choreographies and trying to copy what they're doing, that is a form of learning. It's even though you haven't been to a formal in-person lesson, they're still teaching you, even if it's indirectly.
I think they mean, when it's self-taught for like a cover dancer, I think they mean like they taught themselves the dance rather than someone teaching them the choreography. But I agree, I think as soon as you've got like a a.c.e class or you've been taught by somebody before, you're not entirely self-taught.
I think, honestly, if one person had never danced before and looked at a K-pop choreography, such as Hoshi Spider, and decided, I want to try that, I want to do that, and they start trying to learn it themselves, good for them. That takes a lot of courage to just even take the first step, especially when it's something that you've never done before, and to have the discipline to just be able to motivate yourself to do something is tremendous, and honestly good for them. But I think once someone is consistently able to start learning for themselves, I think a lot of these self-taught dancers would benefit greatly from going to an actual lesson if they want to just improve themselves as dancers, because it's amazing. Even just like Steezy is an absolutely amazing resource. This is not a sponsored podcast, but if they want to sponsor us, you know, just their learning foundations is very useful. So I've been using Steezy and just learning the bare basics, and then seeing that move and going to another move and going, oh, I see this in the choreography, but I know what this is. I know what this feels like. I can do that. For example, I started doing the house program, and they were teaching about I think it's the downward jack, or it's also known as the soft jack. And then when I was learning Oh My Girl's non-stop, seeing how Yua moved her body, I recognized it immediately as, oh, this is a downward jack. I can do that. It's okay now. Yeah, so I think if anyone's listening to this and is a self-taught dancer, I really recommend just looking up online dance classes, and when lockdown lifts, just trying out a dance class, because even just one lesson, you'll learn a lot.
So kind of building on what you said about self-taught dancers and kind of ways for them to improve, do you think, well, this can be self-taught or taught, either one, but do you think a dancer's mentality can stop them from improving? Say if their mentality is already at the stage of I'm kind of perfect, like I'm doing everything everything right, I'm doing all the angles correctly, but to maybe someone else they're not doing the moves right or something like that.
You already know. Of course it gets in the way. Of course it makes a difference. You already know. Like, come on, nobody's the best. I can guarantee that some of the what we think are the best dancers out there don't think they're the best. They're always trying to get better. They're always trying to improve. Especially people that are just cover dancers, you know? You're just covering a dance. Come on. You can't think you're perfect. You can't. You've got to strive to improve and be better, especially if we're talking K-pop, the dances are getting harder and harder a lot of the time. Not always, but if you think about now, a lot of the songs that come out.
For example, Hoshi Spider, where it takes a tremendous amount of strength to be able to hold himself on the bar and manipulate the bar in that way.
I promise you we're not sponsored in any way.
Versus, like, I don't know, example, Super Junior's Sorry Sorry. Everybody can do Sorry Sorry, right? Because at the time it wasn't very difficult. Or even, what is it? Left and Right by 17. That's not even that long ago, but they've made it more accessible for people, right? Mm-hmm. But you still get cover dancers trying to do the really difficult stuff. And I just think, personally, I find there's a lot of cover dancers who want to cover it for the sake of covering it and putting it out and maybe getting some views, whereas there's some that actually want it to look really good and really want to try, and you can tell the difference. You really can. And that's why a lot of the time I tend not to watch a lot of cover dancers unless it's either a full group or I know that they're a particularly good dancer and I like watching their content, because sometimes they're just sad to watch. I feel like this has happened before when one person, even in a group, gets a taste of being like maybe front and center, or whichever member gets like maybe the most time, and then they don't want to be anybody near the back after that. And it's kind of like somebody has to be. We can't always be front and center, right? You're not going to always be good at every dance as well. Every style is going to be a bit different probably, and you can't think, oh, just because I did good in this one in the front, I have to do the person at the front in this one too. I think it just boosts people's ego sometimes when they think, I know the most, I've done this the most, I know the best. And it can crumble, it can make a team crumble, and it can really affect people's like actual work ethic when they think they're great and they're not putting effort in.
Okay.
I'm going to speak about the inverse. I'm going to speak about the opposite problem, if that's okay. Where, okay, so we've established everyone can improve. That includes ourselves. We can improve. And I think the mentality of I'm terrible, I need to improve can also really impact yourself as a dancer. Because you'll just everything you put out, you'll just never be happy with it. And if you're not happy with it, you start feeling very like it's a burden. You feel that you're a burden on the team. You feel like, oh, I can't do it. I look bad. What's the point in me doing it? But I need to get better. That sort of mentality really drags you down and can negatively affect your own sort of mental health. So I think it's very important that, yes, we keep in mind we need to improve, but we also need to look and think, what do I like about myself? And that's really difficult. So I tend to be quite harsh with myself whenever I whenever I record. And every let's say 3 times I think this needs to be better, I need to change this, I need to do better on that, I say, oh, but I like this, I like how I've done that, I like my facial expressions, I like how I make that hit, I like the suspension. It's very much a balance. You need to be self-aware and criticize, like engage that critical thinking to really reflect on yourself, but you also need to point out good things about yourself too, so that you don't feel god awful every time you dance. So it's still a fun thing.
Yeah, so it's kind of finding that balance between, I look good in this part, and I need to improve this part, instead of going to one extreme or the other of being, I'm terrible, I'm never posting any video ever, or I'm the best thing God has ever put on this earth, that kind of thinking.
So because both negatively impacts the team, because if one person, Kei's already talked about how a team can crumble if someone doesn't put in the effort because they think they're great. If someone is constantly saying, I'm terrible, I'm bad, it's going to bring the mood of the entire team down as well, because we see each other differently, and it's a bit easier for someone else to point out something nice in your work, because they don't know what's going on in your head. They don't know how you intend to make it look. It's important to be kind, but still be strict but fair. Be strict but fair. And it's not good enough to just say, I need to improve on this. You need to be able to look at it and go and know how you need to improve it. But that sort of critical thinking and training your eye, that comes with time.
Okay.
And practice.
Accepting criticism is not a personal attack.
Yeah, criticism a lot of the time is not a personal attack. If someone says, yeah, you're not that great, that's a personal attack. But if someone says, oh, maybe on this count, if you try doing this instead, that's not an attack. That's them trying to help you become better.
Okay, so let's move on to something a little bit more amusing. What about any dance horror stories you've got, if any? So let's start with Bing.
Okay, so I'll set the scene again. It's very, very early summer. We're preparing. Exams are starting to loom. We've had all of our major performances out of the way, and now this is just a fun. It's in the society. It's just a fun cover to do, to film and put on the society's channel. And for whatever reason that year, it was a trial between certain members, like Kei has said, with boosted egos, not really trying and saying, oh, but I don't really want to get on the floor, I'll get my shirt dirty. Well, then why are you wearing something nice to a dance practice? To other members saying, oh, we're not performing it, I don't want to come to practice then. If we're not going to perform, there's no point. Which is frustrating, because other members have taken the time out of their day to learn the dances and to come to practice, and when one person doesn't come, if one person doesn't come to the practice, then it negatively affects everyone else because it's so difficult to work things out with formation. Moves aren't standardized amongst members. And to top it all off, a member got injured really badly and couldn't walk for the rest of that semester. And if everyone had just turned up to the sessions, sorry, when I say rest of the semester, I don't mean like the entirety of that semester. They did heal up. But if everyone had just come to the sessions, practiced, and tried their best, by the time that member healed up, learned, and practiced, we would have been able to film the video and get it up before exams. And it was just a real difficulty between like unfortunate happenstance and people actively fighting against us. It was a terrible experience, and it was a really sad way to end that year. Yeah. It's okay because some personal summer projects were good.
That's true. They were very, very good.
Yes, everyone check out our YouTube channel. Be sure to stay until the end to hear what it is.
Hey, have you got anything?
Only really like, you practice really hard, and then, when you go on stage, it's like nerves and just rushing about and stuff. And we were on stage, and me and another member, we just completely bumped into each other, like really badly, really obviously. And it, for like a couple of seconds, which felt like eternity, I was just like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. But I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, but like I'm watching myself, obviously, so I'm like, so obvious. But I'm not at the middle, and I'm not important at that point, so it's kind of like, maybe they don't notice, I don't know. But I was like freaking out at the time.
Okay.
What about you?
I guess I've got one, which isn't mine personally, like it didn't happen specifically to me, but I would say, I'd say that one of the things that I remember quite clearly is during one of our big performances as a society, and it was multiple things. So we didn't edit the music to be long enough, like the intervals between songs to be long enough for one of our friends to get changed from one outfit to another. And basically another member had said, oh, I'll help you get changed so that it's quicker for you, because I'm not on until, I'm not on for another 2 songs, so it's fine, I'll help you get changed when we get backstage. So we come off after doing the first song, and that's all right. She starts getting changed, and the person who had said, oh yeah, I'll help you get changed, turned around and went, oh no, I can't be bothered doing it now, get yourself changed, and then walked off as it, kind of do it yourself, it's not my problem. And I ended up helping her get changed, and poor thing, she ended up being late running onto the stage to do the song. And I feel like there were multiple things that we should have done, is to literally just do a dress rehearsal. That would have been one thing. Another thing would have been if that person actually helped out instead of just being like, yeah, it's not my problem anymore, because I'm not the one going on stage now. So while it's not my personal horror story, because I can't really think of any at the moment, it's one that I think about a lot. is on my mind constantly.
That sucks. That really sucks.
I mean, you guys.
I remember I remember being on stage panicking because it's like, we're missing a member. Where are they? Oh no, it started already. And then seeing from the corner of my eye, seeing them run on stage and feeling both relief and also secondhand mortification. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there was more I could have done, but I tried to get her changed as quickly as possible. But it was like, oh, damn, just a few more seconds, and she would have been fine. But okay, so I'm gonna end it here. We have talked about a lot a lot of stuff today. So I do want to say a huge thank you to Bing and Kei for taking time out to join us today. But before we end this episode, do you guys have any advice for like newer dancers who want to start but don't know where to start or how to start or anything?
I think if you're on the verge of wanting to start, I'd say just do it, because a lot of people have reasons for not wanting to start, like, oh, I'm not flexible enough, oh, I'm not at the right weight, I'm not strong enough, I'm not muscular enough, I just don't think I can. Sure, maybe it might help if you were more flexible, or if you were stronger, or if you were younger. But honestly, the best time to start is now. As cheesy as that is, I think it's just such a wonderful and a fun hobby to have. Or if you want to go into that career path, just try, just go for it. There's a lot of, especially with the way things are now, there's a lot of online resources to look up. Online dance classes. Again, Steezy is a great resource. They have a lot of online classes there, and they've got a free trial, so you can just try it out and see how you feel. Even if you're a beginner dancer, even just check them out, because I promise you, even after one class, you'll feel like you've learned a lot. But absolutely, I recommend looking at the basics, looking at your foundations. You can't skip them, because everything else builds on that. Look at individual moves and skill sets, like how do I pop my arm? How do I do, and all of that. Please warm up. Please drink water. Yeah. And even if you just look online, you can find local dance companies who have also started doing online dance classes as well. Just go for it, try it out, learn your basics, and just enjoy yourself. Yeah. Okay. Any words?
Go in with an open mind. Don't put yourself down. Just go there with the mentality of I want to do this, even if you're not where you want to be right now, work towards it. Nobody starts off the best. They work themselves there, and don't put yourself down. That's my thoughts on it. I mean, a lot of people try new hobbies and then they give them up like very quickly, because they think, oh, I'm no good at it. And it's like, nobody starts off perfect. Artists, when they're born, they draw a potato. They don't draw this masterpiece, do they?
I wish.
That's
because I'm not perfect.
Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'd never danced before I was 18 or 17, 18, one of them. And I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm working my way there.
Okay. But any advice for someone who wants to start like a new hobby? I guess we can broaden it to a new hobby, but they don't know kind of where to start.
Well, I'd just say go for it. I mean, you know what my hobby is, which you'll see in the YouTube videos at some point, is Pikachu collecting. Haha. And I only got into that because of Pokemon. And I just decided, stuff it. I don't care what other people think. If they think it's a childish thing, I don't care. I'm still going to do it anyway. And you never know, it may put you somewhere better. You could become famous from it, or you could have a collection, for example, that's worth a lot more money and things like that. So things can come out a lot better than what you actually perceive them to be. So I'd say just do it.
Just do it.
Same brain.
Just do it. Okay, so if you want to know where to find Bing and Kei, I will put the links in the description of the YouTube video. But in case you're curious, for Bing on Instagram, it's at sunshine.bing. And then on YouTube, it's Sunshine Bing with a space in the middle, no dot. And then for Kei on Instagram, it's at the dancer Kei. That's right, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
And
mess that up.
please check out our group channel. It's called Equinox. Azari is on there as well. You could see how she is.
Stress.
Yeah, I recommend looking at our Ace Undercover video to tie it back in with Amber's favorite group.
They all
Do it.
connect. They all connect.
In the
And
great circle of life.
Kay will tell you what our Instagram handle is. I can't remember what our
What?
Instagram handle is. Someone please tell
Oh,
us
is that
what
why
our...
you're doing it? That's why you're telling me to do it?
Yes.
Oh, I see. It's Equinox_ Kpop dance.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Okay,
Whoop, whoop,
so thank you both so much, and as always, all you listeners out there, please feel free to follow us on Instagram, the podcast at Flaneur Talks Podcast on Instagram. It's at Flaneur Talks on Twitter, and it's just Flaneur Talks on YouTube. So don't forget that we can also be found on Spotify and Anchor. We're kind of going everywhere. We're branching out like a tree. Got our roots everywhere. Fingers, many pies. All that good stuff. Okay, so from the Flaneur Talks team, and of course Bing and Kay, thank you very much for listening, and see you next week. Bye.
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 Bye-bye.